Now, if you're an adult watching this, buckle in. If you're a kid, go away, turn it off. But if you're an adult, this episode is about interest rates. And now, like I said, if you're an adult, you better be buckled in. I'm sure that you are painfully aware of interest rates at this point. You probably know how they work, or at the very least, you know that high is bad. Now, interest rates have always been very funny to me because it's the more money you have, the less you have to pay. Now, this isn't like a whole socialism thing. I could care less about socialism. It is more about kind of funny. You know, I've been in the market for a mortgage, and by that I mean I've been looking at websites for houses that I will never be able to afford. But I'm doing my research. 7% for the average human is insane. Yet that same average human can pay 25% on a credit card. So something that is beneficial to me, to my life, I'm not able to get. But something that could very well and very easily could destroy my life. I can open up 100 credit cards today. I just made an episode about, or I don't know about just, it was probably like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know how long it's been, about store credit cards. The fact that you can go to Old Navy or Gap or, Home Depot or whatever, and you can open up a credit card there. Why can't you go to Home Depot or Gap or Old Navy and buy a house from there? You know, if you can open up a credit card at 25% interest, why can't you buy a house from Old Navy at, 3% interest? What's the deal with that? Now, I actually went and I talked to a mortgage lender and I asked him, I said, do you think that rates will ever come down? He didn't tell me yes, and he didn't tell me no, but my God, he did not look hopeful. So I think it's over. I think it's more of it's one of those things where you save up if you can, which most people can't. You save up and you just buy in cash, or you put like a mega monster down payment on. But like the first time home buyer at 3%, that shit is dead and buried. If you put a 3% down payment down and you aren't making $1 gazillion a year, you will be underwater in that house so fast. So fast. So I hope this episode cheers you up. I'm just giving you a little update on the state of the world. Not very many people know that we are fucked. Not that many people know that. A lot of people still think that everything is fine. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should quit your job or that you should stop paying off your debt. But I'm just saying that, you know, if you can afford it, enjoy the small things or do the free small things, you know? On the weekend, rather than just sitting at home scrolling, enjoy the outdoors, the great outdoors before it's owned by a private corporation. You know, go enjoy Yellowstone before it's a Tesla factory or whatever. No, they wouldn't put a factory here. They would put a factory in like China or whatever. But you get my point. It's over. It's over. Enjoy the small things. Live it up. Still try to save, still try to be frugal because yes, it's over for like the average person, but we're still going to have to live. We're still going to have to eat. So you can't just blow all your money, you know. So that's a shame, because it's always so nice to blow all your money, but whatever. Um, or you could just take out a credit card and just use that to pay for everything. So there's levels to this. You could just take out a credit card and use it to pay for everything and then fake your death and move to Colombia where you will be killed for real. That's always an option. So, I'm gonna go book a flight. I'm leaving for Colombia in a couple weeks. So I will see you soon. If you live in Colombia, I appreciate you listening to this. And I will see you tomorrow for the rest of you who do not live in Colombia.